6 News. First Alert Weather Extra starts now.
Welcome into First Alert Weather Extra. Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt. Thank you for staying with us here on our streaming channels on YouTube TV. We also are streaming on not only YouTube, but our First Alert Weather app. And if you can download our streaming app, we have available for Roku, Apple TV, and also Amazon Fire TV. But we're tracking some more rain and storms. I talked to someone in Tuscaloosa yesterday, said, Wes, some of the most intense cloud-to-ground lightning I've seen in quite some time. Some of these storms, though, they are rather potent out there with the cloud-to-ground lightning. Let's show you what's on the maps this evening. And I was hopeful we get a little bit more rain in areas a bit further north, but a lot of the stormy weather, it's still hanging on close to I-59 in areas to the south. If you checked in with Matt earlier today, some of that latest data coming more in line with these areas, but still a chance. If you live further north, we still could see something on into the evening tonight. Those rain chances will continue over the next several days. Let's get in here for a closer look, and we'll just go play some radar roundup here as we go around the area. We'll get in here around places like Powell. You can see we have some heavy rainfall. DeKalb County and into Cherokee County, that's where we've had some heavy rain and storms, and certainly not a good time to be out on the lake here around Weiss Lake with the threat of lightning in the vicinity. This one storm, or at least this downpour that we see close to Collinsville, that's going to be moving towards Sand Rock at 6:48. So giving you that first alert time, 6:51 around the Mount Vernon area. You see Richardson there also around 6:53. This one moving east-northeast at 18 miles per hour. And right there, just saw a lightning strike with that particular storm. Also, you can see the rain around Reese City and Liberty, but all along 59 here. Right there, you can see you get just north of Reese City. I know there's a very nice little opening there where you can see quite a ways there as you enter some of the higher terrain there, moving up into DeKalb County. That's right there where we're dealing with some very heavy rainfall. So I know there's probably going to be some slowdowns, and take it extra easy if you might want to just hang on there if you're traveling between Gadsden and Fort Payne. Let that activity dissipate. A lot of this hasn't really lasted for too long, but it is moving rather slow. So we have had some flood issues with some of these downpours. We had a flood advisory for parts of Calhoun County out here around Highway 9. There's White Plains, and that storm has since dissipated. Things have settled down, but really cooled us off here around the Anniston area. Got a pop up around Coal City happening, Asheville. So out here around Highway 77 and Highway 231, actually. That's Highway 231 there. So where we got the rain that's falling into parts of St. Clair County. And we have some development happening. I want to get in here around the city of Birmingham, right over downtown, anywhere pretty much from the junction back along 65, just before Oxmoor Road. That's where we're looking at some of that heavy rain now happening around Green Springs, and it is really pouring in here. Right now, I actually could just hear some of the rain on the rooftop here at the station on Red Mountain. So the rain's starting to fall. There's Highway 280, so a pop up. Not hearing thunder just yet, but we could have a lightning strike with this. This is a developing cell, so keep an eye out there. You certainly want to be inside. You start hearing those rumbles as that develops, but it's very localized. You can see around Birmingham, no rain in Hoover. We're looking much better along 65 compared to yesterday. We had that heavy rain down through Shelby County. There is one storm that is over Shelby County around Columbiana, Wilsonville. You can see that rain also happening in here. And check out Harpersville, some intense lightning happening there. Should have quite the view from our camera there at Boardman Carr Law Firm there in Chelsea. We got a camera, might point it back in that direction, but you can see the lightning is quite frequent there in Harpersville. But very slow movers. Let's put a track on this one that you see around Harpersville. That's showing Wilsonville at 6:53, Indian Shoals area around at 6:57. So some first alert times. Not a severe storm. The big story here, again, the lightning with these storms that are impacting the area. But I still think most of the rain, we're going to see a lot of it along south of I-59, but I'm going to show you some data coming up that does suggest we could see some more storms developing in areas a bit further north. But we're just getting started here on First Alert Weather Extra. We're going to talk tropics coming up next, and let's show you what else is on the way here as we continue. In addition to the tropical update, we're going to talk about the Independence Day, 4th of July weekend outlook. Get you ready for what's on the way for Saturday and Sunday. And an interesting story off of Tampa, Florida about a lightning strike. We'll have that for you as we continue here on First Alert Weather Extra.
When 6 on Your Side investigates, the issues that directly impact you matter most to us.
That's why we're getting answers on rising prices and how you can save some money.
and being another set of eyes looking out for your kids and your family.
Getting to the bottom of health and billing issues that may be hidden in the fine print.
How events nationwide are affecting you here at home.
WBRC Fox 6 is always here on your side, ready to help. This is why 6 on Your Side investigates.
These are your mornings, and Good Day Alabama is built to start them right. The only station staying local on all platforms all morning long. In your community, giving you a deeper perspective with the largest team dedicated to you. Showing new stories from overnight, helping you get through your day. With First Alert weather and traffic, getting to the point, not wasting your time, these are your mornings. Prepare for a good day. Prepare with Good Day Alabama.
When moments turn severe, how do you find clarity?
This is your first alert from the WBRC Fox 6 weather team. We're with you as we prepare for this threat.
In a season of constant change, when you need to know first, when you need to prepare, only one team gives you the first alert wherever you are. A trusted team staying ahead of what's next in your neighborhood. Stay alert. Stay with the First Alert Weather Team. Live, new, and on your side, beginning at 9 p.m. In a day filled with clutter and noise, WBRC Fox 6 News breaks down what you need to know before anyone else. With new updates, live and on the scene, answers for your money and your livelihood, with 6 on Your Side investigates. And your first alert for the hours and days ahead with the WBRC First Alert Weather Team. On your favorite platforms every night. WBRC Fox 6 News at 9 and 10. On your side.
Well, some studies across the globe suggesting in other parts of the world that hurricanes may be decreasing in activity, but climatologically, we're looking at an active season here coming up. Meteorologist Matt Daniel talking about how tropical systems form in this update.
All right, we have tropics getting very active, and we are talking about how tropical systems develop. So how does a hurricane form? What do they need? Well, two basic things. It forms over a body of water. It can't form over land. That's the source of energy, is the warm temperatures. So we're looking at sea surface temperatures. They need to be right around 80 degrees or warmer. And when you start getting into the mid to upper 80s, you'll see that a lot, especially along the Gulf Current, along the Gulf of Mexico. That's very warm water, and that can really help intensify tropical systems. You also need some light upper level winds. You don't need a lot of wind blowing everywhere. Imagine if you have a candle and you blow the flame out and the candle's gone. Well, you don't need that wind. It needs to sort of keep it light. And of course, you got to have a lot of humidity, a lot of moisture available. So that's the main 3 ingredients to set up to have systems. And usually they start forming in a wave or a tropical wave. And you'll get a lot of rising air from the warm waters and a lot of the moisture. And that rising air will cause storms and clouds to develop, build, and form. And then sometimes you'll get the outside air rushes in to replace that rising air, and you'll get continuous rising motion, which will aid in more storms. So eventually you'll start to get storms develop. You'll start to get a circulation forming, an area of low pressure, and then that upward strong motion, and the air flows in all direction. And when you get that spin and the center of that system closes off, that's when you start getting those tropical depressions, tropical storms forming. And of course, it has to have winds of about 39 miles per hour or greater to become a tropical storm. That's when it gets its name. So just another view of how hurricanes form. You got the circulation, rising motion in those thunderstorms spreads outward at a certain height. And you start getting that main center. That's where you start getting that sinking air. And that's why when we have hurricanes develop and you see that eye, it's that sinking air in the very center with the upward motion on the outside of those systems. And so the more defined that eye looks, usually that means it's getting stronger, intensifying, and the wind speeds really become strong right along that eye, the eye wall is what we call it. So let's talk about the tropics. We're getting close to the month of July. Where do they usually form? Well, we always watch along the East Coast, also the Gulf of Mexico, and we started looking out a little bit farther to the east, the Caribbean, even into parts of the central Atlantic. Of course, this time we're seeing a lot of stuff developing off the coast of Africa, moving into the central Atlantic. So right now it looks like we're pretty much game on for all parts of the Atlantic for tropical activity. And what about hurricanes when they hit? Where are the most common spots in the month of July? Well, the Gulf Coast to the western Atlantic are areas where we have possible hurricanes that could pass through. So areas like the Texas coastline, Louisiana, parts of Central America, and even the southeastern parts of the United States. And of course, here's a look at that 2022 Atlantic hurricane season names. We've already had Alex. We're expecting Bonnie, and then who knows, if we have another system developed, the next name would be Colin. So it is forecast to become an active season, and hurricane season officially ends on November 30th.
Let's get into the tropics here as we show you the latest developments. We're now tracking actually 3 systems out there. The one in the Gulf of Mexico. Let's show you where that's located right now. It's over the northwest Gulf now, a 40% chance that this may become better developed. This is no surprise here. It's the same system we've been talking about past few days, and as we continue throughout the week, we're seeing those conditions becoming more favorable. This all starting out with an area of storms, and typically what happens this time of year, you get clusters of storms, you get these trough axes, and you also end up with stalled fronts, things like that. Those are all grounds for tropical organization, kind of what we call seedlings in meteorology for tropical development. And this is one that we have now across the northwest Gulf, and it's drifting to the west. So if you do have a trip planned to Gulf Coast, Alabama Gulf Coast, Florida Gulf Coast, even into South Mississippi, the way this is moving, it moves away, but we will need to watch it down the road to see what happens with the moisture or the energy with this as it moves inland. This disturbance, it may become a depression, perhaps a tropical storm, moves in towards Texas, but it may try to circle back way on down the road here. We get into the weekend, perhaps in the next week. I think with us being east of this, we're going to be in the region still dealing with that tropical moisture, and soupy air is going to be with us through the middle of the week. We did start off with some nice weather today, but you could tell that mugginess, it has come back. But over the next 7 days, that's a system we're going to be watching. Also out in the Atlantic, that one system that's potential tropical cyclone 2. We expect this to grow into a tropical storm as it moves across the Caribbean. This may become a Category 1 hurricane. You can see the track on that as that system moves on to the west direction there. As we look at the other disturbance, the third one that's out in the Atlantic, out in the middle Atlantic Ocean here, there's a low chance that this may become better developed again. There's that one system that we've been tracking, the easterly wave. It's moved close to the equator for the past several days, and one thing I noted last week, when you see these systems that track so far south, sometimes they can't really spin. They lose some of that centrifugal or what we call it's called the Coriolis force in meteorology that we talk about. But that's one of the elements there that really helps some of these systems to really get the spinning. And I've seen many of these that just kind of struggle because they're just so far south. And this one in particular is going to stay across the Caribbean as it moves on to the west direction. There's the Gulf of Mexico. This stays well south and continues on to the west, and this next little wave here, it may struggle as that system also moves in a westerly direction. But things certainly heating up in the tropics as we monitor several systems there. We'll keep an eye on what happens over the next few days, keep you posted right here with lots of updates, and we'll talk more about our chances for scattered storms after the break.
At West Shore Home, we pride ourselves on being the fastest and most convenient option for homeowners who are looking for a new shower or bath project. Today, Joe and I are going to look at some projects, why they're so popular, and how we can offer you some extra savings right now.
Yeah, well, Kirsten, the big question out there is why are so many people choosing to remodel their shower or bath right now?
Joe, right now homeowners across America are looking for ways to reinvest and build value in their homes. Replacing your shower or bath is a great way to do that. For folks who call in right now, we're offering some great savings with our 4th of July flash sale. You can lock in that price and get limited time long-term financing of 0% APR for 48 months. And on top of that, for anyone who calls in now, we'll take an additional $1,500 off your shower or bath project.
Wow, it seems like the price of everything else keeps going up, but you're saying for anybody that calls in now, they can lock in their price and get 0% APR for 48 months. That's amazing. Now, Kirsten, for a project like this, they probably have to put some money down, right?
They definitely don't. So many people think when they're going to do a project like this, they have to have thousands of dollars saved up for a down payment. That's simply not the case.
So you're saying they can start their project now and not have to worry about paying anything out of pocket. That's incredible. Now, a lot of people might be wondering, what do one of these projects look like when they're finished? Can you give us an example?
This homeowner wanted something that was safer and more accessible. We came in and installed a brand new walk-in shower. The best part is they were able to take advantage of our long-term financing. That's 0% APR for 48 months. And just as a reminder, anyone who calls in right now can get an additional $1,500 off their project.
Wow, Kirsten, thanks so much. Folks, it does not get any easier than this. Call in now to get 0% APR for 48 months. And for a limited time, they're taking $1,500 off every shower and bath project. Don't miss this offer. Call West Shore Home now.
All right, here's your first alert 7-day forecast. Scattered thunderstorms over the next several days. You can see we're going to be tracking that wet weather right on into the 4th of July. We got some stormy weather happening right now. Here's a live look at radar, and you can see some development here happening over the city of Birmingham. We have a downpour. Let's get in here really close and show you there's the Red Mountain Expressway. Here's 65, so pretty much from the junction all the way back to, that's Lakeshore Parkway. Right there's Lakeshore. So Lakeshore, you can see Green Springs right through there getting some of that rain. So pretty much Homewood getting a lot of this, and the way this is moving, there's Southwood 705, Edgewood there around 706. So Homewood, Edgewood areas, Vestavia, here's Highway 31, and the shopping area, Colonial Brookwood Village right in here. Also the hospital, and there's Montgomery Highway. You can see all dry here, but you get into Homewood. That's where we're running into that rain, pretty much from Lakeshore Parkway back into the city. So that's what's going on there, and we have some pop-ups back into Shelby County. But notice this, most of the rain that's happening at the moment, well, most of it's happening here across the eastern part of the coverage area. That's where we're seeing a lot of this. So pretty much right in this zone, and this is where I expect most of the wet weather to happen. Greatest rain chance further north and west you go. It's going to be a lower rain chance for the rest of this evening. Let's get back over to the forecast, show you what the 24-hour forecast map looks like as we go through the overnight hours, and some data suggesting that we could actually see some rain maybe as late as 11 o'clock tonight. Need to watch out for that risk for some flash flooding, heavy downpours. That's been a concern. Of course, lightning's always a factor. All storms have lightning. Got to watch out for that through the overnight. But tonight, latest data showing that possibility through, look at that, 1 o'clock in the morning. May hear a few rumbles after midnight, but this may try to build a bit further north. What happens, you get the rain falling in these areas, cools things off, and then some of that cool air just kind of spills out along the surface, and as that moves north, it's kind of like a front and helps to kick off some more development. So that's one thing we're going to be watching tonight. Dry in the morning, tomorrow afternoon, chance for some wet weather. I was over in Fayette County today, had some folks talking about no rain in parts of West Alabama. I know we've had some showers and storms, but there's a chance in some of these areas. If you haven't seen much rain, model data suggesting tomorrow perhaps across West Alabama. I was hopeful today we'd see more rain in areas to the north, as some of the data suggested yesterday, but still not seeing that. Coleman, maybe if not tomorrow, Thursday, you can see some of those showers building further north with time, but it's going to be like this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Check in with us right here on WBRC Fox 6. We're going to have lots of radar updates during the afternoon. These scattered storms can often develop in random locations, are quite chaotic in motion in many times, and this is some of the most challenging forecasting that we do throughout the entire year with these afternoon storms, because they're so small scale, they're so localized, and many times it can be raining in the backyard, sun shining in the front yard, as I often say. But this weekend we do need to watch out for those higher rain chances again. Afternoon, evening, many times a lot of these storms and showers dissipate by 9, 10 o'clock at night. So we should be in okay shape. We need to watch it there, though, for the 4th of July. I think we'll be in okay shape for most of the fireworks shows this weekend and into early next week. But also watching that system in the Gulf of Mexico that may enhance the chance of rain for parts of the area and scattered showers, especially into the start of next week. So something that we are watching. And I mentioned right here, of course, tomorrow we'll continue to track that wet weather weather on First Alert Weather Extra. I want to show you some photos from a weather visit today in Hubbardsville. I went to Hubbardsville School today and we sang weather tunes. We have some weather songs that we play along to, and they did a great job with the Weather Kid Twist, and it's summer camp there, and the kids were excited to talk about meteorology and science, and of course they had a nice yummy treat. I brought that back to the station, back to the newsroom, and a nice t-shirt here that we have from the Hubbardsville Lions. It is Lion Country. We sang the song "When Thunder Roars, You Go Indoors," so they had a nice when thunder, a nice roar to go along there in Lion Country. But I actually passed a couple of cornfields there in Fayette County, and it looked like the agriculture was doing okay despite the lack of rain there in parts of West Alabama. So we're going to have some more rain hopefully next couple of days that will help us out in some of those areas where we haven't had much rainfall. But I got an interesting story for you about a lightning strike that happened off of the coast of Florida. Wait until you see this after the break. We'll show you that. Also check in with Mickey as we continue here on First Alert Weather Extra.
When 6 on Your Side investigates, the issues that directly impact you matter most to us. This is why 6 on Your Side investigates.
These are your mornings, and Good Day Alabama is built to start them right. The only station staying local on all platforms all morning long. Prepare for a good day. Prepare with Good Day Alabama.
When 6 on Your Side investigates, the issues that directly impact you matter most to us.
That's why we're getting answers on rising prices and how you can save some money.
How events nationwide are affecting you here at home.
WBRC Fox 6 is always here on your side, ready to help. This is why 6 on Your Side investigates.
In a season of constant change, when you need to know first, when you need to prepare, only one team gives you the first alert. A trusted team staying ahead of what's next in your neighborhood. Stay alert. Stay with the First Alert Weather Team.
When 6 on Your Side investigates, the issues that directly impact you matter most to us.
Being another set of eyes looking out for your kids and your family.
This is why 6 on Your Side investigates.
Live, new, and on your side. Beginning at 9 p.m., WBRC Fox 6 News breaks down what you need to know before anyone else on your favorite platforms every night. WBRC Fox 6 News at 9 and 10. On your side.
When 6 on Your Side investigates, the issues that directly impact you matter most to us.
That's why we're getting answers on rising prices and how you can save some money.
This is why 6 on Your Side investigates.
How will the weather impact your roads? The First Alert Weather app has live traffic updates and road conditions for a safer commute. This is why we First Alert.
WBRC Fox 6 News. On your side.
Well, we often say stay off the water when there are storms, when there's lightning. Check out this. There were 7 people on a boat about 100 miles off the coast of Tampa, Florida, and they sustained, you saw the lightning strike there, just amazing. Right there at the time that was being shot, they caught the actual strike as the lightning struck the boat and had to be rescued 100 miles offshore there. You can see it was a 39-foot boat, and there were a lot of folks on board, and they were all thankfully rescued and safely made it back home. But look at that. Wow. Just it can happen in a hurry, and a lot of folks around here I know have been hearing the thunder, hearing the rumblings, and we've had some storms that have produced some very intense lightning over the past 24 hours. There were some storms yesterday and again for today, so we're going to be talking more about the rain chances and the chance for storms tracking. Just got actually an alert on the First Alert Weather app of lightning nearby here at WBRC Fox 6, so we do have a pop-up over the city of Birmingham as those summertime storms continue. But if you're going to be traveling for the holiday later on this week, we have another update right now with Mickey Ferguson.
Well, as we head out for the 4th of July weekend, I know a lot of people are traveling this week to get to their destinations on time. We could have some travel delays when it gets down into the southeast due to some fog. That's both today and tomorrow. You get up into the west, and we're seeing up towards Denver, Colorado, a little bit of airport delays there, but mainly across the southeast just due to a stalled frontal boundary. We've got some fog, rain potential as well. So just check with your airline carrier and see the latest there on your travel plans. Your morning drive tomorrow, let's check it out as far as fog potential here locally. And we don't have much of an issue until we get into about 6 a.m. Then we start to see some pretty thick fog developing there into St. Clair County. You can see a little further to the east, Clay County, and up through Cherokee County going into 6 a.m. Really dependent on how much rain that we received today, the residual moisture left over trying to lift. Now, if you want to get outside tomorrow, walk the dog or do some things around the house, I'd recommend knocking out everything early because not only do we warm up, of course, and it makes the asphalt a little sensitive to the dog's feet or your pet's feet, even your feet. But in the morning, we've got the green lights as far as not much for rain chance and not much heat there in the morning as well. Your UV index, you think, hey, with all this cloud cover and a rain chance, maybe I don't need to use the sunscreen. We're still very high with the UV index, and it takes only 20 minutes to get a good burn on you. So, yeah, I would to keep yourself safe and free of any skin cancer potential, I would lather up with the sunscreen. Drops off a little bit going into Thursday and Friday, but then we're back up to very high levels, almost extreme levels for Saturday going into the 4th of July weekend. So just monitor your First Alert weather app. If you're at the pool or lakes or rivers and you think there might be a storm nearby, it'll let you know when to get out of the water. And of course, you can take pictures of wherever you're headed for the 4th of July weekend. Share them with us and we can share them here on TV.
Really is amazing without that proper sun protection. It's actually less than 10 minutes you can develop a sunburn, so you need to make sure that you are have proper UV protection over the holiday weekend. There's going to be some storms out there scattered around the area. Let me show you what we're tracking right now. We have a pop-up around Leeds and quite a bit of lightning. It's amazing just how much lightning suddenly we start to see with some of these pop-ups. So you hear thunder, get indoors and make sure you're in there where you have proper shelter until these things. They don't typically last long, these storms. They've been popping up and then gradually weakening. Coal City, we got some rainfall. Also back towards Harpersville, some intense lightning, but notice over the city getting a little bit of rainfall around Birmingham. Once again, a lot of this rain just kind of hugging the I-59-20 corridor, especially Interstate 59 in areas south. This is going to be the more favorable zone, it looks like, for the rest of today based on radar trends, the latest data. But as the night goes on overnight, some of this may try to make it just north of the interstate. So I know West Alabama, we haven't seen a whole lot. Still a chance that we could get some wet weather out there tonight. But we're going to do this again tomorrow. There's going to be some more scattered areas of rain throughout the rest of the week. And we have a lot of activity going on in the tropics, talking about the holiday weekend. So don't miss us tonight. We'll have much more on the news at 9, 9:30, and 10. Be safe out there. Chief Meteorologist Wes Wyatt. I'll see you tonight on WPRC Fox 6 News.